to look into a GoFundMe. And because I did a Patreon, and I did that back in April, May, something like that. Because I did a Patreon, and I did that back in April, May, something like that. Don't remember exactly when I put it up. I last checked on my Patreon back in September. Maybe it was in October. And I have 3 or 4 videos up there. One of them free, or 2 of them free to watch. And then a few that you'd have to pay to watch. And you'd have to pay $1 to watch everything on the channel. Everything. And my Patreon has earned exactly $0. I think it's, actually, now I stopped and think about it, I think my Patreon has been up almost a year. If you look at my YouTube channel, and you go back through my videos, you find one where I'm showing you a big sheet of metal when I'm sitting at my kitchen table. A sheet of metal and a rack from an oven. And I say, what do you get when you cross these things with a couple cookie sheets and some nuts and bolts? It's a fairly short video. It was a teaser from one of my Patreon videos. It went up the day after I uploaded to Patreon. It went public, that teaser video. The whole point was to try and draw people to go to my Patreon and watch the other video, which is 40-some minutes long, and it shows you how to make something using those items. 2 cookie sheets, a sheet of shiny metal, and a rack from an old oven. I think it was a microwave oven. Doesn't matter. You know what an oven rack looks like. I don't need to describe it. So this is another reason why I never thought of doing a GoFundMe, because the Patreon did nothing. So why am I bothering to talk about it? Well, for the simple fact that I'm hoping and praying that my simply mentioning that this young man is doing it might help. Because of the actions of my spouse, right now I am extremely short of funds. I'm still fighting with Social Security, and here we are past the 1st of December. I have had my hearing at Social Security. But after the hearing, my attorney tells me that it could take anywhere from 1 to 4 months before I get a decision from Social Security. The plus on my side here for this hearing is the lawyer tells me that the particular ALJ that I got tends to render decisions a little more quickly than others, and that it might be 3 or 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and thereabouts. Not a guarantee, but that's where this particular ALJ tends to land. Anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks was the suggested time I might have to wait with this ALJ. It's not a guarantee, that's just the thinking of my lawyer. Let me turn that around a little bit here, because I think the sun is now in the eye of the camera. So we're going to move the camera so I can sit back down and not have the sun in the eye of the camera. There we go. And not have the sun in my eyes. Amongst my other ailments, I also have, oh, wow. There we go. Amongst my other ailments, I have extreme photosensitivity. Bright light hurts the eyes. And when the bright light hurts the eyes, it causes severe migraines. That's all part of having fibromyalgia. That would be my primary disability, fibromyalgia. Oh, I hope you all noticed my truck is in a different place than where I've been parking. I used to park over there, but I've been a little bit at a time because of my disability. I can't do a whole lot all at one time. Clearing a mess of saplings so I can get my truck further up in. I can actually now get my truck around in back of my, well, not finished attempt at a wall tent. I can actually get it around in back of. I have a way I can, if I wanted to, I can drive in, pull in over there, swing around over there, and then back around. Now I've done this, cleared this turnaround. Well, let's put it this way. The land I'm sitting on doesn't belong to me. I don't own it. It is leased, as I understand it, for over 100 years by the local electric company. So if anybody has a complaint about my being here, it would be the electric company that could ask to have me thrown off the land. The private landowner, well, they have to bow to the wishes of the electric company because the electric company holds the lease, unless I go hog wild with a chainsaw and start cutting down all the trees. I have tried to limit the number of big trees that I have touched to dead or dying trees. And so far, that's all I've hacked down is dead or dying trees. I've cut off the tops of 2 pine trees that were dying, and I've knocked over 3 pine trees and pulled them out of here that were that big around or smaller that were dead, just to be able to do what I've done thus far. I've also cut a whole crap load of little itty bitty saplings about so big around or smaller. They're all birch. I showed you. It was a real thicket of birch over in here. And they were so crowded they were dying. Half of the thicket was already dead. I've cut the dead ones and stacked them and used them for firewood for cooking over. And all the dead birch saplings are gone. And I'm starting to thin out the live saplings, so maybe some of them will actually grow up and be good-sized trees. Most of them are silver birch. So far as I can tell, there's only 1 or maybe 2 white birch back in here, and they are full-grown, mature trees. I've also got several good-sized dead-standing trees so big around that I will be going after with my axe in the very near future, i.e. when the wood stove arrives. But that's not all the story here. The reason I made a 3-point turnaround is so that I could have a company with a dump truck pull up in here and back around over here and dump a load of firewood. Because, as I say, this is private land. And I'm sure the private landowner ain't going to complain if I cut down dead standing trees. That said, there ain't a whole lot of dead standing. There ain't much. I've already used up a lot of it, the dead standing saplings. They've done used up the little stuff, that size around or so, in my little brazier for cooking over. And birch, let's be clear, is not one of the harder woods. It doesn't last very long. Right now, where I'm sitting, I can see 4 dead standing trees that are of mature size, and the bark is almost stripped gone from them. And that's it, 4 of them. I ain't gonna go very far. I'm hoping it'll last until my Social Security goes through, and then I can afford to buy firewood. I hope. Around here, a cord of wood. Now, a cord is 3-face cord, seems to go for between $175 and $250 for seasoned, dry hardwood. Now, if I order hardwood and tell them to deliver it to me here in the woods, I'm going to blow the damn minds. By the way, don't forget to